Hearty welcome to Hospitality Management class. Hospitality Management is the open course offered under the BBA program of Calicut University. Here, this course is meant for non-BBA students of the UG program of Calicut University. As it is an open course, only some introductory elements of this subject hospitality management is discussed in the syllabus. First of all, the term hospitality management. Hospitality literally means friendly and generous behavior towards a stranger or a guest. That means when a guest is come to the place of host, the host welcomes that person with amiable and friendly way. This kind of treatment, the friendly treatment, is known as hospitality. Here, the subject to hospitality management, it describes how these industries and institutions are dealing their guests, especially the tourists come to the hotel, restaurant. So hospitality management is the management of hospitality industry. And now we can come to the definitions. The first term, hospitality itself, as already mentioned, hospitality is the friendly and generous behavior towards others. It is defined as the friendly reception and treatment of guests by the host. One definition says that hospitality is the act of kindness in welcoming and looking after the basic needs of guests and strangers, mainly in relation to food, drink and accommodation. Hospitality refers to the relationship process between a guest and host. Next term, hospitality management. Hospitality management is the management of hospitality industry. When the term hospitality industry is used here, there is the need of a description on the term hospitality industry. Hospitality industry is an umbrella term consisting of a number of industries coming under the hospitality sector, like hotel industry, tourism industry, travel, resorts, entertainments, meetings, conventions, etc. etc. In every place where the tourists and guests are treated, there we can see the hospitality industry. And everywhere there is hospitality industry, there is hospitality management also. And when we describe the definitions, two terms are very important. These terms are guest and host. As far as hospitality management is concerned, guest and host are the most important persons. We can say it is the two sides of the hospitality management. On one side, the guest. Guest is the person who comes to the place of host with a view to get some pleasure or entertainment. And host is the person who welcomes the guest and treats him with a friendly and amiable nature, with a view to make him feel satisfied and happy. As the next topic, we can look into the brief history of hospitality industry. As we know, hospitality is the relation between guest and host. Two human beings are there. And because of this, whenever and wherever two persons began to treat each other with a friendly and amiable nature, then and there might have arisen the hospitality. In this sense, we can say that hospitality began at the time of human evolution itself. In the ancient history of India, we can see the glimpses of hospitality. Actually, India has a very good culture on this behalf. The Indian Puranas and Vedas states that Aditi Devo Bhava. That means we should treat our guests equal to gods. That means in India, guests and visitors got the maximum consideration from the part of host. Guest got the best treatment from the host. However, it is believed that hospitality developed as an industry with the Sumerians. Sumerians are the people who lived near Persian Gulf, in a place called Mesopotamia, nearly 4000 BC. Why the Sumerians are called the pioneers of hospitality industry? The reason is very simple. It was Sumerians who started the first taverns for travelers. Taverns are the roadside houses or inns meant for giving a treatment to travelers. They used to supply beer to the travelers, and this might be the first hospitality business took place in the world. However, the countries like Egypt, Greeks and Roman Empire are considered relevant in the growth and development of hospitality industry. Now we can look into the contributions of Egypt towards hospitality. It is believed that Egyptians built pyramids during the period 2700 BC. When the pyramids were built, they attracted a lot of people all around the world, and they came to visit these pyramids. And when they began to come to the place of pyramids, the Egyptians found a business opportunity there. They began to make some souvenirs and started to sell these souvenirs to the visitors in memory of their visit. This kind of souvenir saying can be considered as the starting point of hospitality industry. Egyptians are considered to be the first people who built cruises for travelers. Cruises are ships or boats meant for traveling with some luxury. Now the contribution of Greece. It is believed that Greek people are the first international travelers. They traveled all around the world. Especially they concentrated on the Europe, and they made a lot of colonies also in the Europe. This travel led to two contributions. The first one was language. When Greek people traveled to the other countries, there arose the need of a common language. Normally, the Greek people dominated in the traveling, and the Greek language became the commonly accepted language in Europe. Next contribution was the currency. When two countries began their trade, there arose the need for a common currency, and of course the Greek currency became common currency for international transactions. And the language and currency were the important contributions of Greek people to the hospitality industry. But unfortunately, the Greek people were defeated by the Roman Empire on 146 BC. Then these contributions were transferred to Roman Empire. Now we can look into the contributions of Roman Empire towards hospitality. Similar to Sumerians, the Roman people began to make taverns and inns for travelers, and they promoted the souvenir sales as well as the trade between nations. And now hospitality industry has grown very big, and now it contributes nearly 10% of global GDP. Now we can look into the characteristics and features of hospitality industry. As already mentioned, hospitality industry is part of service industry, and therefore all the features of services are also seen in hospitality. The features like intangibility, inseparability, perishability, etc. are seen in hospitality business also. The main product of hospitality industry is service. The first and most important characteristics of hospitality service is its intangibility. We cannot see or we cannot touch the product of hospitality industry. The service offered by the host to the guest is to be experienced, it is to be felt. It's the feeling that is transformed from the host to the guest. It is intangible. The next feature is inseparability. That means we cannot separate the service from the provider and from the user. When the host offers warm welcome and reception to the guest is experiencing the service then and there. Both the guest and host should be there to give and receive the service. That means we cannot separate the service from the host, and we cannot separate the enjoyment from the guest. Another feature of service industry is its perishability. The service produced and used is perishable. Nobody can store the service provided by the host, and no guest can store the enjoyment for future usage. That means service offered by the host and service enjoyed by the guest are perishable. It is produced and it is used at the same time. And if it is not used by the guest at the time of production, it is lost permanently, and nobody can store this service for future purpose. And in addition to the common features of service industry, the hospitality industry has some unique features also. The first and most important feature in this category is the treatment of customers as guests. The privilege given to the customer by calling him a guest and by treating and by entertaining him as a guest is the main feature, unique feature of hospitality industry. And another feature of hospitality industry is its continuous operations. That means the hospitality industry is open on all days in a year, throughout the year, 24 hours in a day. There is no break of service, there is no holiday. And whenever and wherever both the host and guest meet each other, there takes place the hospitality service. There is no break, no holiday. And another feature of the hospitality industry is it always aims at the satisfaction and enjoyment of the guest. That means here the customer is called as guest, and this guest is treated equal to God. That means the customer, the guest gets maximum consideration from the part of host. The satisfaction of guest, the enjoyment of guest is the most important aim of hospitality industry. And this is considered one of the main features of hospitality industry. Now, the next topic is the scope of hospitality industry. We have already seen that the hospitality industry is consisting of hotel industry, resort industry, travel and tourism industry, conventions, events, etc. etc. All these areas are coming under the scope. For the purpose of academic study, we can classify the scope into four heads. The first category is travel. All the travel related activities and industries are coming under the purview of hospitality industry. The different modes of travel, different methods of travel, road travels, rail, air, water, everything comes under the purview of hospitality industry. Another area is the lodging industry. Lodging industry means wherever the guest is getting a lodging facility, accommodation facility, it is coming under the purview of hospitality industry. All the hotels, resorts, lodges, hostels, etc. etc. Wherever the accommodation facility, lodging facility is provided, it is included under hospitality industry. And another major area is food service. Usually the hotels and restaurants provide food services to the guests and visitors. Here the food supply agencies are the areas coming under the scope of hospitality industry. And as the fourth area, all the recreation activities, recreation related activities, amusement parks, tourism, events, sports and games, meetings, and wherever the people get entertainment, and wherever people gather to get some pleasure and enjoyment, in all these places there is hospitality industry. In short, we can say that the scope of hospitality industry is consisting of four different areas like travel, lodging, food services and recreations. Now the objectives. Hospitality industry is working with a number of objectives. The primary objective of the hospitality industry is to satisfy its guests, its customers. Customers are here called as guests. So guest satisfaction is the first objective of hospitality industry. Every hospitality industry tries to provide personalized service to the guest. Each and every guest is treated personally. And the next objective of the hospitality industry is to improve the quality always. The industry is trying to improve its quality every day and in every activity. In order to avoid the monotonous methods, the industry always tries to find out new and different methods to make the guest satisfied. Another objective of hospitality industry is to promote travel and tourism related activities. Another objective of hospitality industry is to provide maximum employment opportunities. The hospitality industry is also trying to find more and more avenues to provide employment opportunities on one side and to provide more and more satisfaction to the guests on another side. And another objective of the hospitality industry is to increase the foreign exchange reserves of a nation. When the travel and tourism related activities increase, normally a number of foreigners come to the nation in the form of visitors and tourists. And with this kind of tourism and visits, each and every nation of the world is earning a lot of foreign exchange. These earnings of foreign exchange can be considered as one of the objectives of hospitality industry. And another objective of hospitality industry is to increase the image and importance of a nation among other nations. When the nationals, the people of one country are treated well in another country, automatically it will increase the image of that country among other nations. Because here the human beings are treated, the guests are treated well, the tourists are getting more attention, and each country is providing pleasure and entertainments to these visitors and tourists. Because of this kind of entertainments and notion of enjoyment and pleasure, they will be happy and satisfied. It will increase the image of the nation in other countries. The last objective, we can say that it improves the international relations. It provides a lot of opportunities to interact with each other. It will boost the international relations. Okay, we can have a quick look at the importance of hospitality management. Importance of hospitality management can be looked into under two different heads. The first head is the importance to individuals and travelers, and importance to different nations. Importance of hospitality industry to the people and travelers. Hospitality industry gives personalized service. It provides avenues for pleasure and enjoyment. It helps to reduce stress and avoid monotonous situations. It helps to refresh body and mind of the people. It helps to experience the best practices of doing things. And it also helps to know and practice better cultural practices followed in other countries. And the importance of hospitality industry to nations. It increases the employment opportunities. It improves travel and tourism related industries. It helps to make use of the geographical advantages without harming the nature. It ensures growth of remote, rural and undeveloped areas, converting it as a new tourism opportunity. It helps to increase foreign exchange earnings of the nation. It helps to increase GDP of the nation. It creates and improves better image of the country among other countries, and it helps to develop international relations. And the last topic is the challenges of hospitality industry. The first one is weather conditions. Of course, climate and weather conditions are the attractions to a great extent. Some countries and some places are attracted by many tourists as those countries have such a wonderful climate. At the same time, there are a number of regions in the world which restricts the tourists as it has such a horrible climatic condition. That means here the weather condition becomes a blessing as well as disturbance. Similarly, the political stability of the countries. In order to improve the international tourism, there must be political stability and peace in those countries. If the political situation is not stable, it will adversely affect hospitality industry. And the policy of the government is also very important. Now, most of the countries in the world are following a positive approach towards the hospitality industry, as they believe that the industry can bring a lot of foreign exchange countries. And the next point is the natural calamities and its consequences. Natural calamities are of course a problem to the travelers, and it will disturb the traveling and tourism industry. However, in certain cases, totally disturbed areas are converting their destruction as an opportunity and attract tourists to those destructed areas. Another factor which affect the tourism is the geographical location. Some countries in the world are located in a geographically advantageous place, and it helps them to attract a lot of people there. And the economic condition, the factor which affect the hospitality industry. Economic condition of the people and economic condition of the nation are very important. When people are falling into financial crisis, the first thing they set aside will be the hospitality industry related matters. That means they will cut the entertainments. They will concentrate on their essentials, food, shelter, etc. That means at the time of financial crisis, the people will set aside their traveling expenses, their recreation expenses, their entertainment expenses, restaurants and hotels, etc. Coming to the last point, the globalization. Globalization is a blessing as well as a problem to the hospitality industry. Globalization is a blessing in the sense that it opens up the boundaries of countries and it allows the people to travel smoothly from one country to another country. It opens the doors of countries and it allows international tourism. It promotes interactions with other countries, and of course it is a blessing in this sense. But on another side, the globalization becomes a problem. How it makes a problem? The economic crisis or the problems, natural calamities, the war, or any kind of disturbances in one country will easily affect the other countries also, because now the countries have no closed walls between them. So the economic crisis in one country will affect the other country's economic condition also. Okay, we will discuss the remaining parts in the coming sessions. Thank you.